again, we're at the tail end of the problem set. We need to show if this is given, we need to be able to get this thing to lead to this thing over here. And by the way, keep your target in sight. So what I'm going to do over here is write down um, some things, and then we'll talk about how I got there. So I wrote this down. The first thing I would do is just write down, 3. Someone says, why are you using 3? Because I notice it's in the problem, all right? So I'm going to write that down. So I'm going to say 3, whoops, sorry about that. 3a over b would be the same thing as 3 times c over d. That's relatively simple. The next thing I would do is probably subtract 4 from both sides, because, again, I see it in the problem. I see minus 4, all right? I actually see it. I see it. I'll show you where I see it. This is why I multiplied by 3, and this is why I'm going to subtract 4. All right, I see it, all right? So let's do that, and what do you get? You get 3a over b minus 4 would equal 3c over d minus 4. So let me tell you where we got here. All right? And then what I'm going to do is, let's see what we're going to do here. Well, I want to get the bottom, right? I want to get that bottom. So let's see if we can write that down. All right, so let's see if we can do that. So I'm going to say, whoops, sorry about that. Let me just get my eraser out. The bottom was, and again, we have the relationship a over b equals c over d. And this was the top. And we want to do the bottom now. And the bottom's got a 2 and a plus 7. So I'm going to multiply by 2 and add 7. Multiply by 2 and add 7. So that's where this stuff's coming from. All right? So I'm going to say that's, understood. But again, you might say, oh, it's not going to go anywhere. Or you might say, oh, I have a better way of doing it. You could. I'm not saying you don't. Might be quicker. Might be more smooth, whatever. What I'm going to do now is multiply top and bottom by the minor LCD. So in this case here, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by b. And this side, I'll multiply top and bottom by d. And what would you get? You get 3a minus 4b on top. On bottom, you get 2a plus 7b on bottom. All right? Now, if you did the other side, if multiplied by d, you get 3c minus 4d on top, and you get 2c plus 7d on bottom. So I'm pretty comfortable with that step. Let me erase this over here. And again, we're looking at steps, and I'm going to say I'm comfortable with this. All right? Then what? By the way, I'm looking back, and I definitely want to get an a squared on top, right? And what do I want to get in the bottom? I want to get the AB. So what I'm going to claim over here, that whatever this number is here is identical to this one. So if I multiply the left side of the equation by a over b, I'd have to multiply the right side of the equation by a over b, but it's the same thing as c over d. Now someone says, why would you do that to get what I want, which is the 3a squared minus 4ab on top. Again, you have to look back over here. And bottom, the 2ab plus 7b squared. And I'm getting it. Do I get the other side? 3c squared minus 4cd. Yes. Do I get the bottom? 2cd plus 7d squared? Yeah, I get it. So we got it. It's done. All right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But again, you may have taken a different road. Let's do this one over here. Getting a little better at these things, but better or not, it's still a trouble for me. So what I'm going to say over here is that I have relationships, and the relationships I have, the given one, I want to remind you, was a over b equals c over d. This is the given relationship. Now, if this is a given, this would also be a given at this point, that if a over b equals c over d, then b over a equals d over c. All right? So I guess I could write this down. And someone says, why do you write this down? I'm trying to show something. So I'm going to write down the b over a squared. You may wonder why I'm seeing a b squared in the problem, is equal to d over c squared. And again, I'm seeing that in the problem as well. All right, then what else would I do? Well, looks like I got, like an a cubed in front. So I'm just going to add 1 to both sides. And then we'll talk about doing the next step. So it's going to be 1 plus b over a squared. And this would be 1 plus, let's see, d over c squared. All right? Oh, you know what? I forgot to do the 6 part. And I do see the 6 there. Let me put that in now. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. Let's look at the bottoms now. And the bottoms, I'm seeing that a squared thing. So I'm going to try that. Again, this is the top. I'm not done yet, though. I'm not saying I'm done. It's sort of top, though. I got 1. I got the 6. I got some things going on there. All right. We'll talk about in more detail later. Let's look at that bottom. And what I'm doing over there is writing down that a over b is equal to c over d, which means if I square them, they're still equal. If I square them, they're still equal. And then, I could still subtract 5 from both sides and they'd still be equal. Now, you may wonder why I'm doing that. I'm seeing it. I'm definitely seeing it. All right? I'm definitely seeing a 5 in the bottom of both of them and a 1. All right? So what are you going to do now? Well, I guess I got to do a division, right? So I'm going to look at it, and I'm doing the top. And I'm going to divide it by the bottom. And let me tell you where this is written. It's right here. All right, then what do I do? I want it to look like what I want it to look like, which is going to require something. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by the same thing. So really what I'm doing is I'm saying that a over b, a over b is equal to c over d. And if that's true, so are the cubes. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the same number. And this side will use this one, this side will use this one. And what do you get? Well, lo and behold, you get a cubed plus 6a squared, b squared. I'm sorry, I misspoke because it's b squared and b cubed in the bottom. So I misspoke there. Let me clarify that again. I'm multiplying the top by a cubed, the bottom by b cubed. Sorry about that. So you're going to get, let's go through this one step at a time. A cubed, 6, 2 factors of a, 3 factors of a, 1 factor, and a b squared. On bottom, you're multiplying by b cubed. So it's going to be a squared b minus 5b cubed. On the other side, what do you get? You're multiplying by c cubed on top. You'll get c cubed, 6d squared. One of the c's, two of the c's cancel off. You get 1 there. On bottom, what do you get? You're multiplying by d cubed. So you get c squared d. I got that, minus 5d cubed. Is that what they said we are going to get? Yes, that's what we're going to get. So we showed what they want us to show. Not that bad. These are tedious, though. I know that. And by the way, you can take a wrong path and be in an endless loop. There's no doubt about it. It happens all the time. All right, I want to remind you who I am. My name is Ron Bannon, and I realize this is a long document. It's probably filled with errors I don't even notice when I'm reading it. But if you're reading it and you see an error, please reach out to me and say, you know what, you made a mistake. You inverted something, you put the wrong number down, wrong symbol, whatever, and I'll certainly entertain your suggestions. Thank you.